Welcome, I'm the Drone Bully. So welcome to my first tutorial on basic photography for the Mini2 for a beginner. I started flying drones back in December last year, so I'm still new but learning quickly. So I hope this tutorial helps you newbies improve your photos. Firstly, I apologise for the picture example in this video. It's England this time of year, the weather's really dull and it's the best I could do unfortunately in this situation. So to begin with, I recommend using the auto setting, but also take a picture in the manual setting, the same picture you've just done in the auto setting. Get used to using the manual settings I'm going to go through with you. Ideally, you will eventually be using the manual settings all the time. Okay, so let's get onto the live screen. At the top right, press your three buttons for the menu. And then from the menu, you want to choose camera. The format should be JPEG RAW, the size 4:3. Turn on the histogram. That gives you a lovely histogram chart. You can move around with your finger and place it somewhere you want to. I'll talk about that more later. Overexposure warning gives you those lovely zebra effects at the top, so we need to get those down to a minimal. Okay, got the grid lines, got 3 grid lines there options. I usually choose the first 2. The white balance should be on manual and then 5600. Let's go back to those grid lines again. And there you got your full screen cross. And then the 1/3 rule grid. There we go. So I'll go through the 1/3 rule with you a bit later. That's my favourite one. And then we've got the centre target for lining up between, for example, 2 trees and get dead centre. Okay, so currently in the auto mode, and you can tell by the bottom right hand screen there's a auto in the camera, and by tapping on that you can change that to manual. The auto mode does give us one option we can change, which is in the middle there, which is the is basically the exposure value. Okay, by using your finger you can move up and down and to get the exposure you want. In my case here I'm trying to underexpose it really, so I can edit it later in my photo program. Now in manual mode, it does give you another option that you can change, which is the shutter speed, so you can move that up and down. You can see the zebra effect at the top. As I move it, the zebra effect goes, so ideally you want to get rid of that zebra effect. But again, I try to underexpose it so I can adjust it later on in Photo Studio, whatever you want to use. So next to the shutter option is the ISO. So for day photography you want to leave that 100 if you can, and then to the right is the and that's basically your meter reading. So ideally you want to get it down to 0 with no zebra effects. Bit tricky, but do the best you can. So you can see an example here. I've got the meter reader down to 0, which is great, but we still have some overexposed zebra lines at the top. So we might need to change the ISO here to try and even that out. It's just a bad day really. So going back to that histogram chart at the bottom left, it's just another way of showing you where the overexposure is in the image. So if you look at the left hand side of the zebra and the right, it's basically showing you that in that little chart. So the right hand side of the chart is the right hand side of the picture, and the left hand side is the left hand side of the picture. So this is the 1/3 rule. So using the 1/3 grid, you can see it's split into 3 from top to bottom and 3 to left to right, and the sky is in the top third if you like. That's the 1/3 rule. So on the other hand, you can have the sky in this picture at the top 2 and then the ground at the bottom. So that's basically what the 1/3 rule is. So I just wanted to end really by showing you this picture. Obviously it's a terrible picture we took in the demonstration today, but it just goes to show if you run it through a photo program, you can actually how much you can actually increase it and improve it. So left hand side is the raw picture, and the right hand side is the picture that was edited. Now there's quite a few programs out there like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Elements, Lumina, Lightroom, your choice. I went for Lumina because it's a one-off payment, whereas the others tend to be a monthly payment. So I hope you found this tutorial useful. I know it was very short and basic, but it's just a starter one for you beginners out there. So hopefully I'll bring out some more in the future, a bit more in depth and a bit more advanced. So enjoy your flying. It's great, isn't it? A great hobby. Those drones are great. So I bid you good evening and farewell for now.